Governor Evers is calling for a special session to take up a constitutional amendment that would allow the public to vote on Wisconsin's 1849 abortion law. Plus, Florida officials now face lawsuits and a criminal investigation for their part in transporting migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kay. New at noon, the governor wants you to be able to decide the future of abortion access in Wisconsin. This morning, he pushed the legislature to allow voters to make decisions on such laws via ballot referendum. Political reporter Will Keneally joins us live now from the Capitol to explain. Will?
So, Mark, it actually takes quite a bit of effort to get an issue like abortion on the statewide ballot. So, for example, Wisconsin doesn't have a process to easily put anything on the ballot right now, unlike 20 other states in the country do. The governor wants to change that, though, making it easier for any issue to get in front of the ballots in front of Wisconsin voters. Beavers says this is a necessary step to take on the issue of abortion specifically.
I know where Wisconsinites stand on this issue. This is about doing the right thing and protecting the freedom of half of the state's population. If Republican legislators aren't going to uphold the will of the people, then the people of the state should have the right to take a stand at the ballot box.
So if the legislature approves this is how it would work. Wisconsinites would submit possible laws or constitutional amendments as referenda to the state's elections commission. With enough signatures, those proposals would be on the ballot. And if the legislature decides to take up Evers' proposal, it would have to approve it twice in two different two-year cycles before it would come to a vote. This all, of course, needs the buy-in from legislative leaders who are both Republicans. And we heard just a few minutes ago from the state assembly and Senate leaders who called Evers' proposal a political stunt. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, well, thanks for that live report. A group of Molson Coors employees in Milwaukee, one step closer to going on strike. They're picketing this week while they negotiate a new contract with their employer. They've been in talks since July and have yet to reach an agreement. The beverage company proposed some pay cuts and a two-tier wage scale. That would mean some employees would make less than others for doing the same job. A union rep says that model's been tried before and it doesn't work.
Not as good as what we were hoping for. Allowing a two-tier wage scale to come in is divisive and kind of the antithesis of what our union is about.
Union members are demanding a higher wage increase and improved working conditions, including less overtime, more PTO, and better benefits. It's been a long time coming for the folks in Oregon. The big day is finally here, though. Culver's is breaking ground on its newest location in that town. You remember the town's been making do with a mini version, along with a mini drive-through with quite the line to represent their anticipation. The representation is still up. It'll be celebrated today, along with the construction of the real deal starting this afternoon. The new Culver's should open sometime in March. They're very excited down there, Greg, about their new Culver's.
I love that little model. Oh, well, we're looking at cooler temperatures. You can already feel it outside. We've kind of reached already our high, and you see temperatures. The difference between yesterday and today is already getting down to below 10 degrees. So that's the trend we'll see through this afternoon. The winds have turned around from the north. The front's kind of to the south. We still got some clouds kind of riding to the east. May get a spotty shower with that, but most of it are going to remain dry. But the temperatures will continue to fall as you see the winds continue to usher in that drier and cooler air mass. Radar has a few activity, light showers to the west. Like I said, we're not going to see much come through. Futurecast is just a spotty shower, but mostly cloud cover. Right now, 72 Roanoke, 68 Madison. That really is already our high, or even was earlier today when we were in the 70s. Right now, across Dane County, we're in the upper 60s to near 72. So once again, winds have also picked up. You're going to see winds 10 to 20 miles per hour gusting on the northwest, indicating that cooler air mass coming. And there's our temps going to continue to fall with the west-northwest winds. Things to know, the big drop in temperatures even tomorrow, too. A very chilly Friday morning and some chances of rain coming Friday and Sunday. And I'll break down all those, how those temperatures may fall Friday morning and then those rain chances come this weekend.
All right, open the windows, a little fresh air.
Yes, definitely.
All right, thanks, Greg. We'll check back. Colleen Shogan, President Biden's nominee to be the next National Archivist, faced more scrutiny than usual at her confirmation hearing today. The hearing comes with the National Archives in the middle of the investigation into former President Trump's handling of government records. Some Republicans are demanding answers about the FBI search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home.
Should this be a voluntary cooperation rather than a legal raid with a search warrant coming into a private residence?
I want to be clear that as the nominee for this position, I have not been briefed on any of the details of what has happened.
Yesterday, the judge appointed to be special master to review documents seized from Trump's home held his first hearing. Judge Raymond Dearie pushed Trump's attorneys on whether the then president declassified the material prior to leaving office, as Trump himself claims. But Trump's attorneys declined to say, arguing that doing so would complicate their legal defense if the former president is indicted. Dearie pushed back on that response, telling the lawyers, quote, "You can't have your cake and eat it too." Courts might end up deciding the latest dispute over migrants in the U.S. Some Republican governors have been sending them into more liberal jurisdictions, prompting criminal investigations. Amy Kiley has reaction.
I am very glad that the sheriff chose to open an investigation.
Legal action is brewing over efforts to ship migrants north. Governors in these states have been sending them to areas they call sanctuaries. The president's home state of Delaware got word Florida Governor Ron DeSantis may send migrants there.
Do you have any comment or response to that, sir?
He should come visit. We have a beautiful shoreline.
A sheriff in San Antonio, Texas, is investigating 2 flights that originated there. DeSantis took credit for flying nearly 50 migrants to Martha's Vineyard in coastal Massachusetts.
It's up to the authorities on the ground there to figure out what did and didn't happen.
Most of those migrants are part of a class action lawsuit against Florida officials. It alleges organizers used fraudulent tactics to get the migrants on the planes. In a response last night, DeSantis argued participation was voluntary. Some Republicans say ending the Trump administration's Remain in Mexico policy has led to overcrowding.
The facilities along that border in South Texas or even in Arizona and California, they are overwhelmed.
But some Democrats say the governors are using desperate people as political pawns.
This is just disgusting. I think if there are state laws or federal laws that have been broken, that needs to be investigated.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And many people on both sides agree the bigger problem is what's driving the migrants to the U.S. They just don't agree on what to do about it. President Biden addressed the United Nations General Assembly today, where he emphasized the challenges the world is facing, particularly the war in Ukraine. President Biden called on the world to stand up to Russia for its invasion and stressed the importance of the UN at a time when Russia and China seem to be at odds with the organization's core principles. The president also announced nearly $3 billion in global food security aid to address shortages because of the war. Meanwhile, a humiliated Russian President Vladimir Putin is ordering up reservists after suffering a setback in the northeast part of Ukraine. Since the announcement, one-way flights out of Russia have been skyrocketing in price and selling out. He's warning the West to stay out of the conflict and threatened to use any means, including weapons of mass destruction. Putin is also organizing referendums in some of the occupied territories to force through a vote to become part of Russia. Once that happens, it sets the stage for him to claim an attack on those regions is an attack on Russia. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Federal regulators are taking a closer look at Amazon's plan to buy a tech company and find out what kind of technology the NTSB wants all new vehicles in the U.S. to have. The Money Watch report is next.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor. I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work. We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry, with honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises with the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
it changes your entire world. I know because I was a victim myself. So to think there are people like Senator Ron Johnson in Washington who'd make it harder. Ron Johnson supported the Supreme Court's decision outlawing abortion in Wisconsin, even for victims of rape and incest, allowing doctors and nurses to be prosecuted. When I think about other victims and what they're going to have to go through because of Ron Johnson, he doesn't share our values. S&P is responsible for the content of this ad.
Clean, safe, fun. I was hoping daytime care for Mom would be like that. Oh, Grace's new center is so nice. Now, caring for Mom is so much easier.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since a Grace Supportive Care came to see me. It was a Grace, but it wasn't hospice.
When you're ready for hospice, you want a Grace. They helped make my dad's last weeks comfortable, calm. It was beautiful.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Habitat families build their own homes alongside volunteers, pay an affordable mortgage, and are grateful for your help. With safe and permanent housing, Dane County families can invest more in their health, education, community, and beyond. Please donate or volunteer today.
How do we make your glasses the same day? It's all done in store. Our skilled techs handle your glasses from start to finish, getting them back the same day. Quality, affordable glasses made in store, only at iMart Express.
The Federal Reserve is widely expected to raise interest rates by as much as 0.75 of a percentage point at the central bank's meeting today. That would be the third rate hike of that size in a row. The Fed is waging a battle against high inflation while trying to avoid slowing the economy too much. Wall Street will be looking at the Fed's statement for clues about the prospect for more rate hikes down the road. Federal regulators are taking a closer look at Amazon's plans to buy iRobot for $1.7 billion. In a regulatory filing, iRobot says it and Amazon received a request for more information in connection with a Federal Trade Commission review of the deal. Both Amazon and iRobot said they would cooperate with the review. Groups urging the FTC to block the merger say it helps Amazon enhance its monopoly power in the smart home market. And the National Transportation Safety Board wants all new vehicles in the U.S. to come equipped with blood alcohol monitoring systems. The technology can stop an intoxicated person from getting behind the wheel. If enacted, the recommendation could lower the number of alcohol-related crashes, which are among the biggest causes of highway deaths. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman.
Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial's up 147 points. The NASDAQ up 64. The S&P 500 up 24. Our call for action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the call for action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can call for action right now at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. We have today's egg prices along with the latest forecast. And then today on Live at 4, Angie Horkin of the Wisconsin Beef Council joins us. She has some delicious new recipes to try out at home. That's coming up at 4.
Remember this? Forecasts are predicting an unreasonably cold and snowy winter. Now's the time to winterproof your home with USA Insulation. 35% more efficient than traditional insulation. Our foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
We knew the other side would make up lies about me to scare you. Now they're claiming I want to defund the police and abolish ICE. That's a lie. I'll make sure our police have the resources and training they need to keep our community safe. And that our communities have the resources to stop crime before it happens. I'll bring back manufacturing. And I'll pass a middle-class tax cut. And if that's too scary for Washington, then so be it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
It's time to celebrate all abilities here in the 608.
Tomorrow, Josh Breider previews a free family event with fun activities everyone can enjoy.
And from the heat index to wind chills, we're tracking your temperatures tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, there's always something to celebrate. You can sing, you can twirl around, dance, whatever makes you happy. Oh my God, have your moment. From the White Lotus, Connie Britton is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And Pam Yankee continues her farm tour of Scotland and Northern Ireland, and apparently she and her group are having a good time. Pam posted this picture of her trying to herd sheep at an Irish farm. I'm sure she'll have many more stories to tell when she returns next week. Meanwhile, here are today's Ag numbers. Forecasters believe Hurricane Fiona could strengthen today as it winds its way toward Bermuda. The storm is being blamed for at least 4 deaths in the Caribbean. Officials in Puerto Rico say as of last night, more than 1 million customers remain without power and more than 700,000 without running water. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
Residents of Puerto Rico continue to clear mud and water from their homes. Parts of the island saw more than 25 inches of rain from Hurricane Fiona, which led to what some officials there are calling historic flooding.
That was awful, honestly.
At Logan Airport in Boston, those arriving from Puerto Rico recounted their fear of drowning in the floodwaters.
We stayed in one room, like in a little corner that it was safe. That's where we were. Like a whole night with no light or nothing, because the place was so dark.
With much of the island still without power, many are still waiting to hear word from their families.
I haven't been able to talk to my mom and see how she's doing.
Puerto Rico's governor told CBS News he expects power to be back on for many by the end of today. Local resident Luis Noguero is hoping he's among them, saying he went a full year without electricity after Hurricane Maria, a storm that devastated Puerto Rico exactly 5 years ago. The island was still recovering from that direct hit when Fiona struck. Gerardo Rodriguez, who says just about everything she owns has been destroyed, thinks this week's storm may have actually been worse than Maria. Once Fiona passed Puerto Rico, it lashed Turks and Caicos Tuesday as a Category 3 storm, with winds up to 115 miles per hour, flooding streets and uprooting palm trees. Early this morning, the National Hurricane Center said Fiona intensified into a Category 4 storm as it makes its way towards Bermuda later this week. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
And the head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency says the agency is sending hundreds of additional personnel to help get Puerto Rico back on its feet. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has also sent teams to the U.S. territory after declaring a public health emergency there. Greg's here now with the latest on the storm's path.
Yeah, basically kind of what they've stated, that it's going to head up to Bermuda. You can see right now Category 4 really strengthened once they got north of Puerto Rico, but it's going to recurve once it hits Bermuda and head up. And if we follow the track up to about Friday at this time, it'll be about 130 miles per hour. And then once it gets further north, it'll actually transition toward an extratropical once it hits the Maritimes up there. But still, it's going to be quite a strong system as it pushes north. So overall, we got Gaston also out there well to the east of the U.S. and not a threat to land. Now, as we get to fall, yes, tomorrow is fall, so leaves are going to start to turn. They're already turning up north. Of course, there are pockets around the area that have turned, but our peak is more towards mid to late October down to south central Wisconsin, more mid-October. But this varies from year to year and place to place, too, but that's just an average. We are going to get kind of chilly, and we are getting this time of the year where frost freeze problem is going to be there. Right now to the north, we're kind of in that way. Central Wisconsin's getting close to that, and then we'll be probably in a couple weeks more into the time frame. The earliest one for Madison was, I believe, September 23rd for the first frost. Overall, we got the northerly winds right now kind of ushering that cooler air. We're going to have a few cloud cover come across it over the next few hours of this afternoon, but overall, it shouldn't be a big deal. As we get into the afternoon, evening, that's what you're going to kind of see, and then overnight, more cloud cover comes. Friday morning is the issue that we're going to have where it's going to get kind of chilly. We have a system approaching by Friday. That's your next rain chance, but overall, that's still a ways off yet. We're going to see the conditions be pretty chilly until we get there, and that's the system that comes through Friday. So that's your rain chance we're talking about, but not much of a big issue right now. Overall, we're looking at temperatures should fall back into the mid to upper 60s this afternoon, and basically under northwest winds that continue to get gusty. Those winds will kind of continue tonight, so temperatures will drop back down into the really around the mid to upper 40s in most locations. We may see a spot or two get up to the upper 30s. But then tomorrow, really nice conditions, a little bit lighter winds, all the northwest. Cool, we're only looking about low to mid 60s, which is about 10 degrees below average for most locations. And then what we look at Friday night is cloud cover starts to increase, but then our temperatures do fall. And this is probably going to be the coldest night we've had this year, this season so far, around 40 in Madison, mid 30s. There could be a few pockets in the coldest areas get even close to frost, we'll see. But overall, it's going to be a real chilly morning. You'll definitely notice Friday morning as you wake up. So overall, the 10-day, we're still going to be fairly mild. Conditions will warm up a little. The rain chance Friday, Saturday, it's not a big thing. And then once on Sunday, too. And then we get more kind of coolish for next week, too. So we're seeing no heat coming in. Average temperature right now is around 69 degrees.
The last hours of summer.
That's correct.
All right, Greg, thank you. Walmart will be adding 40,000 workers this holiday season. And although that number may seem high, it's down from the last holiday stretch. Some of the jobs open will include temporary and full-time store workers, truck drivers, and customer call support staff. Walmart raised its minimum wage to $12 an hour last year. That's still below rivals such as Target and Amazon. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you're a coffee lover like I am, then you're going to love the sweet treat we're whipping up today. Don't you go anywhere. Stick around.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver who hit Samantha should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Darrell Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our communities safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Change it up and choose Dutch Boy from Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, and no prep, no crime formula, transforming your home has never been easier. Save 11% on all Dutch Boy paints now at Menards.
Get up and go!
You heard
the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go!
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Have you ever experienced this view? Hi, Andrew Larson here. With Gutter Shutter, you'll never have to experience it again. Please give up this dangerous chore and protect your home's foundation with Gutter Shutter, the strongest, most durable, maintenance-free gutter on the market. Over the past 15 years, my team has installed thousands of maintenance-free gutter systems across South Central Wisconsin. We'd love to come out and show you what Gutter Shutter can do for you and your home, but most importantly, keep you safe and off that ladder. So call today for a free estimate.
You know, it's not surprising, based on how popular coffee is, that the Italian dessert tiramisu, which happens to be laced with coffee and coffee liqueur, shows up on menus everywhere. Although it looks like it would be difficult to make, truth be told, it doesn't have to be. Today, we're sharing a version that's easy and dreamy. We start by combining a generous amount of mascarpone cheese with sugar. We beat it well before folding in half of our whipped heavy cream. This is going to be our filling. At this point, we line the bottom of an 8-inch square baking dish with ladyfingers. I like using the soft ones, which are sponge-like. We drizzle these with a mixture we made by combining instant coffee granules, coffee liqueur, water, and a splash of vanilla. Next, we add a layer of the filling and repeat everything one more time. The remaining whipped cream goes on top before dusting it with some cocoa powder. That's what gives our tiramisu its signature look. Once it's chilled, it's ready to serve. Talk about a showstopper. To get the recipe for our creamy, dreamy tiramisu, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found
dreamy
coffee lover's way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And low in calories, too, I think, Greg.
Of course. It's very low in calories. Of course, we all know that, you know. Mid-clouds, has got some high clouds out there right now as you look outside. It's definitely going to be cooler today, so even colder tomorrow, too. But overall, 70 was kind of what we had before, but the temperatures will fall to the mid-60s. Breezy northwest winds up to 20. Tonight, it'll still be chillier. We'll get into the 40s. That'll probably be the first time we see 40s in a while. And then tomorrow, much cooler, only like 60 degrees, which will set the stage for a very chilly Friday morning. 40 with probably 30s. Rain chance Friday night, Saturday night could be an issue maybe for high school football. Other than that, very mild temperatures throughout the extended. We're not even close to probably average until the end of next week.
So Briggs were here. She'd tell you to take your houseplants in the house once it gets to 40 degrees.
True.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.